Really, truly, like I get to be in academies all over the country and I'm so excited. What you can't see is I have goosebumps right at the moment. Professor has one of the most amazing academies in the whole country. It's right across the street from the Raiders training facility here in Las Vegas, Henderson, actually, to be a little more specific. But man, look at all of these beautiful windows, some of them way high in this, so it's like, this is crazy. This is just such a phenomenal facility. So we're super excited to be getting on the mats, going over some stuff today. Ladies and gentlemen, Kevin Lucas, Nathan Lucas with New Hope Regeneration here with one of our good friends. Professor, can you introduce yourself and your school?
I'm Professor Romulo Caiado. I'm the owner of Carlson Gracie Henderson here in Las Vegas. Well, not Las Vegas, and Henderson.
And Henderson.
Close to Las Vegas. He's following me up. He's following me. He's
right.
following me up. Pose, step.
Once I'm down and I start to go,
I can bridge up and I can spin right here. Just put your foot forward.
How do people know which way to turn to get out of a heel hook? So like last night, there were, I don't know, so many fights where all of a sudden you see the guys alligator rolling and rolling and rolling, but if they roll the wrong way, you're gonna break your leg, right? How do you know which is the proper way to roll?
Usually you go with the motion, eh? If I go here, and you start throwing your leg over, and then start scooping my heel. You see, if my knee is on this side, I'm in trouble.
You're in trouble.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you start cranking this way, I can't keep cranking a little bit this way. I cannot go this way.
Right.
I can go here. To relieve a little bit. See, I'm relieving, but he's following me up. He's following me. He's following me up. He's not gonna keep it. He's not gonna stop.
Right.
If you go out of bounds, they're gonna stop.
They're gonna stop.
And then they're gonna start standing up again.
Okay.
So I would say whatever direction the heel is,
The heel
or the
is,
foot is pointing,
you gotta go, yeah.
That's the way
But
you
the
gotta
problem
go.
is, they force the knee, keep it there. They force the knees this way, and then they pull the foot this way, see? Then it's hard to roll this way.
Okay.
so it's a twisting.
Yeah.
Got you. But if I have just the pressure out here, then you're gonna keep rolling.
I wanna keep rolling to relieve.
Relieve the pressure, yeah.
But you never know how tight this is gonna be.
Yeah.
Yeah. And here too, they go here. They go inside here. I'm in trouble. Now I cannot go that way.
Now you can't go that way.
Yeah.
So now it's a tap.
I'm gonna lean the knees this way and pull my heel that way.
Got it.
So in the beginning, you have a chance of escaping there. The moment he starts going inside,
Yep.
see, I want to push his legs down and get my knee out here.
And that's what they mean by get your knee
Knee line clear.
knee line clear. That's what that means.
Yeah.
So you're getting this past his.
Best, yeah.
Yeah. So there, the knee line is not clear.
No.
Can you guys rotate a little bit so the camera can see? Okay. So now you're in trouble.
My goal is get my knee on this side here, right here.
Now your knee line is
Now,
clear.
even if you try pull the heel hook there, pull, connect your hands. It's not gonna put too much pressure there.
Right.
Much less pressure. Then I can start going here. I can put my foot here, push it, pull, get my leg up.
And then you're safe. Yeah.
They're gonna stay here a little bit, like it's not bothering them too much. For that goes in your head a little bit.
Okay. So it's a little bit of psychological warfare. Okay.
Yeah. And sometimes they stay here, they put the heel hook, and they stay here and you see clack.
Right.
It just breaks it.
Yeah.
Because they don't feel it.
Right.
They wanna kind of play the mind game a little bit.
Right.
You know?
And that's what gets more dangerous every 4 or 5 years older you get. Your body, the 25-year-old bones and tendons are very different than the 35, very different than the 45-year-old bones and tendons. Yeah. How much information translates well between gi and no gi? or because there's some guys that don't do, they only do one, they don't do both. I notice you go back and forth really well.
One day gi, one day no gi, one day gi, one day no gi.
So what do you think prevents a person from being open to that and staying so locked in I'm really just a gi guy or I'm really just a no gi guy?
I think it's your game. If you're doing good in no gi, you're probably gonna try
Keep doing more no gi.
more no gi, or just do no gi, you know.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times it's ego. You know, somebody beat you and you're like, I don't want to do this anymore.
Right.
I'm gonna just go here.
Yeah.
You know, and that way and you won't learn.
Yeah.
Right.
Right?
I think it's fun to do. I like both.
Yeah.
I like both, right? I always did both. My master always pushed us to do
Yeah.
gi and
Always
no gi.
do both. Yeah.
Because I did my first, so I did Jiu Jitsu Con Novice. That's my first competition, and didn't get destroyed, but the guy was very defensive. He was from a Brazilian competition team, so their fundamentals were really, really good. So I lost that match, but then I went down to Biloxi, Mississippi, and did AGF, gi and no gi, and that was I won silver and gold. Silver in gi and gold or silver and no gi and gold and gi, and it was just fun to see where your knowledge is on both of them. You know how you progress in one versus the other. So and it's such a slower pace in the gi and faster
no gi
and no gi. So that was fun.
Jiu-Jitsu Con is hard, man. Those
Yeah.
so even the white belts are
Good. Yeah.
super good.
Well, the knowledge and the information and the training has increased so much over the years.
So that, I mean, that's a really good point. So like I grew up doing a lot of skiing and like watching what the 12-year-olds do on the mountain today compared to what I did as a kid with trick wise, it's not even the same. Is it the same for jiu-jitsu?
Yeah,
like what you see the kids doing today is so advanced compared to when you were a kid training?
At the Jiu-Jitsu Con, the kids, oh my God, super high level.
Yeah.
My wife didn't go to tournaments this couple years. She went this year. She's like, oh my God.
So even just in a few years, you're seeing a leveling up of the skill set.
They're homeschool. They're doing strength conditioning.
Right.
They're doing private classes. You know, they're traveling.
Yeah.
They're doing stuff in the house.
Parents are.
What is your thought on the training dummies? So if you don't have access to a training partner or safe training partners, do you think the training dummies are a good tool?
It is good.
Yeah.
Because I think that brings muscle memory into if you're
It's a
training.
good way to get reps in.
Yeah, because that's the big thing too is your reps. Because if you don't have the reps and your brain doesn't remember the motion.
It's the same as the heavy bag.
Yeah.
It's a kind of training. It's good training. Right. The dummy is very good.
And then shadow. You think shadow is just important? Shadow, just working because you have shadow boxing, right?
Just movements.
Yeah.
It's good. It's good. Carlson Gracie used to do that a lot. Body movements.
So then, on that note, as a white belt, what should be something I should be practicing on at home, on days off, movement-wise, to increase my basic knowledge? Obviously, shrimping.
Shrimp, sit-outs, like posting, you know, shooting, double leg, sprawling. You can do a lot by yourself. And mainly get your body strong too, you know.
Just calisthenic exercises.
Yeah.
Professor, you have one of the most beautiful schools in the country.
Thank you.
Like really, truly. Did you mean to match the Raiders, or were you here before the Raiders?
We were here after the Raiders.
After the Raiders, so you matched the color scheme. That was pretty intelligent. Yeah, so super beautiful, super clean. But one of the things that I love most about your group and your student base is just how like connected and kind everybody is. And you're not a crazy intense guy. right? Sometimes I get the feedback, from people who are wanting to start jiu-jitsu, like, man, I'm nervous to train with a Brazilian because they're so intense and sometimes they can be scary. And I'm like, no, Professor Romulo is just amazing and you need to go try him out. So have you just been always a laid back, easygoing guy your whole life?
Yeah, just being more chill, more on my corner.
Yeah. I like it. So how old were you when you started jiu-jitsu?
I started a little bit late. I was 24 years old when I started, and I'm now 40.
Now 40.
Been 16 years of hard training, competition.
Yep. So what has been your favorite competition, like you personally, not your students, but you, like what tournaments have you loved the most?
I think we aim for the higher tournament for IBJJF.
Yeah.
So that's the one that I like most of doing it.
And do you prefer competing gi or no gi more?
I usually compete both gi and no gi.
And no
so
gi.
I always train gi and no gi.
Yeah.
So I always try it competing.
Yeah.
Both of them.
Now, one of our mutual friends called me one day and he said, hey, I have an amazing man that just got hurt and just got his knee messed up, which is a really common thing in jiu-jitsu. We all know the number one reason people stop training is because they get injured. Why don't you tell us a little bit about your injury?
I was training a little bit no gi with one of my students, and he had a leg lock. I tried to get out, and my knee just popped. That was my ACL.
Right.
Then I had to do MRI to see how it was, and it was completely ripped.
Right.
And that's when Ricardo told me about you guys.
Yep.
And he said he was gonna talk to you guys about it.
Yep. So we talked with Professor Ricardo Tubbs, one of our good friends. And Professor Ricardo is actually one of the biggest reasons that New Hope has really grown and gotten connected in the jiu-jitsu community. My brother is a multiple-time double gold champion, and that's what got me initially connected into jiu-jitsu. And then we were at Master Worlds one year, met Professor Ricardo, talked about stem cells. Finally, 6 months later, he came and got stem cells. And after he got stem cells with New Hope, then he started telling all of his friends.
Yep.
And so you had this massive, all the way fully torn ACL, right? And had you had surgery yet?
I had my surgery last year, about
a
year and a half ago.
Yeah, and then how many weeks, was it a month or two after your surgery that we did stem cells?
Actually, you did before, one month before
the surgery, that's right. Now, one of the coolest things was watching your recovery, because a lot of times people think that, well, just because I got stem cells, I don't need a surgery, and that's not accurate. If you have any clinic anywhere in the world telling you that, stem cells can fix everything all the time, you're not talking to a very reputable business, because sometimes we still do need surgeries, right? But the magic came, though, is we did stem cells a little bit before your ACL repair, and what was your recovery like after that?
It was much faster because I had students that did the ACL surgery.
Yep.
Mine was maybe 2 to 3 times faster than theirs.
So
I started training before, I started working out much before them.
Right. Yeah, so from having gone through that personal experience of having a bad injury, having stem cells, and then watching your students or other people have a similar experience but not get stem cells, what would you recommend to people who are contemplating, are stem cells helpful in the United States? Because that's something that we hear all the time. Stem cells in the United States is bullshit and it's not real and it's snake oil. With your experience and now what you've seen with a lot of the people that that have done therapy with New Hope, what would you tell people about that?
It really helps. It's gonna speed up the process of healing. That's what we're looking for. We don't want to be sitting at home and just watching.
Right.
So I would recommend, even if it's a little bit hurt, if something's hurt in your body, if you take the stem cells, it's gonna fix it.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of times people think they have to wait until they have a massive injury like an ACL or like a torn rotator cuff. And what I like to tell people about that is that, even if you're making a good living, winning the lottery is still a good thing. You don't have to wait until you're broke to get lottery, to win the lottery. You don't have to wait until you're all the way broken to get stem cells. And it's just been a really amazing journey, and we're just so grateful for you for trusting us, because that's a big thing too. Like having people trust their bodies with us is a very significant thing. We have a very profound amount of reverence for that. So it means a lot when you're willing to come into one of our offices. Now it was easy for you because you got to just go right down the road because we have Vegas, an office, here in Vegas, in Henderson officially. For those that get a little wiggy about that. But would you just who would you encourage to reach out to New Hope and get stem cells?
Especially competitors, right? Always injured, that would help a lot. Competitions, training, keep a healthy lifestyle.
Right, and the nice thing too is how easy was therapy.
So easy.
Yeah.
It helped a lot.
Yeah, super. Like you're in the office for 30 minutes of total time. It's not this big complicated thing. You don't have to take 12 weeks off of doing nothing.
Yeah.
Like all the things that you hear, the misinformation for misinformed people is always one of we spend more of our time getting rid of the bullshit around what people think stem cells are than actually the simplicity of what it really is. And for you, you've had stem cells now a couple of times. What were some of the things that made a big difference for you after getting therapy?
For me, it was just the recovery aspect. I had a lot of low back pain from a lot of running and rucking and jumping out of planes in the Army. Now training jiu-jitsu, just keeping you healthy and well. So for me, do you think this is just athlete based, or do you think it's anybody based?
It's anybody's. Your body, you got to take care of your body. Your health is the most important thing.
Right. So for me, on that aspect, now it's just going to be health maintenance time. And I'm gonna continue to work at paying for it yearly because it's so good on the wellness aspect.
Right.
So that's for me, just being able to continue to train daily and keep going and keep doing things and keep my body in a manner to where I can continue to do those things, because I just started my journey of jiu-jitsu here last October while I was in Honduras. So it's super exciting. When you don't train, those are your bad days. Yeah. It's not even as a bad day. It's just like, oh man, I missed out on such a great opportunity to do some self-development.
Yeah, for sure. So. Yeah. And really what I love most is, it is about health and wellness, this idea that I'm going to wait, right? We hear that a lot. Oh, I'm not broken yet, or I'm going to wait. And, people don't realize like it's a little thing. Like we had a guy who got therapy with us, and he said, man, I was blown away that my stomach and my skin got way better, right? People think a lot of times this is just for orthopedic issues, but really, truly, like if the roof in my house is bad, my air conditioner on my mom's house goes bad, and my brother's truck breaks down, if I win Mega Millions, I can fix all of those things, right? Stem cells is exactly like that. It doesn't matter what you have going on. It could be an orthopedic issue. It could be an organ issue. It could be an inflammatory issue. It could be a skin issue, and your body is going to make great trajectory changes, and you don't have to wait until you're broken to start having those impacts. So, well, Professor, thank you so much for the great private lesson today and the education that you shared with us newbies. Was really pretty awesome. Anything else that you want to, why should people come train at your school? Why don't you leave us with that? I'm
pretty much like more old school, so my techniques are a little bit more, basic techniques. But whoever want to come train, you guys more than welcome.
Amazing instruction, beautiful academy, wonderful groups of people, and we're just grateful for the opportunity to come hang out with you today.
Thank you guys for being here.
By getting therapy through New Hope, I was able to overcome a lot of that issues that I had with my back and my knees.
I won the Euros in January just because of the recovery that was provided by New Hope.
New Hope that changed my life with this therapy.
You're not your diagnosis.
Seeing New Hope.
What's the game change?